Hi, if you're thinking about buying a washer-dryer, but you're not really sure which one to go for, then you're not on your own because there's a lot to choose from on the market. So what I've done is I've come up with 10 things to consider before buying a washer-dryer. All I normally say, just before we start, please give us a thumbs up on our YouTube channel. Just give us a quick subscribe. What I normally do is I talk about household appliances like these. I do specialise in things like cordless vacuum cleaners, and there's normally a bit of tech in there. So just give us a quick subscribe, then we'll carry on. So just to explain what a washer-dryer is, because in some countries they don't tend to use washer-dryers. In the UK we do use them quite a bit. I suppose we probably don't have quite the same space as in some laundry areas or kitchens, especially in America. But what a washer-dryer will do is it will actually wash the clothes and then dry them afterwards, or you can use them independently, so you can use it for just the washing machine or just the drying. But the main advantage is that you can actually do everything, so you can do the washing and the drying in one machine. Now I suppose for some people you're thinking, well, that's brilliant, isn't it? But I suppose number one on the list of the 10 things to consider before buying a washer-dryer is, do you need one? I suppose the main, as I've just mentioned, the main advantage is you can do everything in one machine. The main disadvantage is that you can only do everything in one machine. And what this means is if you've got a whole pile of washing to do, then you've only got one machine to do it all in. I suppose a lot of people will tend to do some washing first, take that out, put that in the dryer, and then you can put your next load of washing in the washing machine. But with a washer-dryer, you've not got that ability. Clearly you've only got one machine to do it all in, so the whole process will take a lot longer. But the main advantage of owning a washer-dryer is if you are really limited for space, then somewhere to dry your clothes is better than nowhere. If you live in, say, a block of flats or an apartment where space is very limited and you've not got the ability to hang your clothes out on a washing line, then something like this could be a lifesaver. So that's the first thing to consider. Do you need one? Have you got space for two separate items? In an ideal world, we always try and recommend having the separate items. You'll find cost-wise that it can be a little bit cheaper going for one unit, having a washer-dryer. But personally, I think the advantages of having two separate items is a huge advantage. So that's number one on the list. Have you got space for the two items? If you have, go for the two. If not, then something like this could be ideal for you. Number two is, what load size do you want to go for? Now here I've got a couple of examples of some, I suppose some higher end machines. This is one of the Bosch 10 kilogram washer dryers. And clearly with this, 10 kilograms is a really good size load. On this one, this is one of the hotpoint machines that we do really well with. And as you can see here, it's got a 9 kilogram. So both of these are fairly good size loads. Something to bear in mind with washer dryers, if you are going to use the wash and dry facility, then a couple of options. First of all, you might need to take some out. So on this Bosch 10 kilogram machine, then what you need to do is you can wash 10 kilograms, but you can only dry 6. On some machines, it's say half and half. So if you do an 8 kilogram wash, then it's a 4 kilogram dry. So on this Bosch machine, for example, if you wanted to put everything in one go and go through the whole wash and dry process all in one action, then the maximum load you can put in is 6 kilograms. And as it happens, it's the same on this hotpoint, 6 kilograms. So load size is really important. I suppose here we've got two examples of some of the larger load machines. If you're going towards the smaller end of the market, say 6 or even 7 kilogram washing machines with the dryer, then what you will find is that the load that you can actually dry again is about half. So if you're going for a 6 kilogram washer dryer, then you could be looking around 3, possibly 4 kilograms to dry. So the drying section is quite small, so just consider the load size, because the drying part could be the main thing to look at. So number 3 on the list is just check to make sure that the machine will fit in the space that you've got. The reason I mention this is because on some of the larger load machines, like this Bosch 10 kilogram machine, they are a lot deeper front to back than even this one. This is the hotpoint 9 kilogram. So just have a measure first, and I'll just show you an example of this. So if you're taking into account the whole of the depth of the machine, then on this one, so you're looking around, say, 55 centimeters. That's the whole of the depth of the machine, including the door. So as I say, 55 centimeters or around 21.5 inches. On the Bosch one here, if we're doing the same same measurement, so front to back, you're looking around 65 centimeters or around 25.5 inches. So even that couple of inches can make a huge difference. So number 4 on the list is the spin speed of the machine. Now what I've done is I've just plugged in the hotpoint-washer-dryer just to give you an example. But on here, this goes from 1400, and what you can do is you can actually select different spin speeds just pressing the spin button. So this is something I'd always have a look at. Just make sure, first of all, that you can alter the spin speed, because you can on quite a few machines, but it does change quite a lot. So first of all, have a look at the variable spin speed that you can alter it to. Also, you want to make sure that you go for a good spin, at least 1400. Some brands will go up to 1600, not as much now, but I'd always recommend going for a 1400 as a minimum. And the main reason for that is if you go for something like 1000 or 1200 spin washer dryer, then if it's spinning at a lower spin speed, then it will take a lot longer to dry in the tumble dryer. And the tumble dryer can be quite expensive to use. So if you can get as much water out as possible, then apart from saving money as far as the cost of the drying cycle, then it will be a lot quicker as well. Now number 5 on the list is the wash times, or the duration of the programs that each cycle will take. Now I know it might take a little bit of research into the machine, but you will find that you can download the manufacturer's instructions and they'll give you the wash times for each program before you buy the machine. But I'll just show you an example of this, that on, for example, the cotton program, so it's quite a standard program and it will be for the full load. So if you were to select the wash and dry option, you're looking at almost 6 hours. And what that's doing is that's washing and drying a 6 kilogram load. You do have options on here that you can speed up the program, so you can reduce it to just under 4 hours, and again that's going down to a 5 kilogram load. But just have a look out for some of the quicker program options, because also on this machine we have got an option here called wash and dry 60, so you can wash and dry a load in around an hour. So if we were to select that, which is the wash and dry option, then although it's a small load, so it's only a 1 kilogram load, but in theory you can do the whole process in around an hour. So it's not all bad news for long programs. As far as the long programs go, it's something I'm quite an advocate of, because you will find that the actual washing performance on a longer wash is better than on some of the quicker programs. Some people seem surprised that when they're doing the say the 28 or 30 minute washes all the time, that the clothes are not getting that clean, and that's because you do need a length of time and also say a 40-degree wash to do a decent wash. Too many people are getting used to these quick programs. Some brands are quite fans of things like the 28-minute full load. What you will find is that engineers are not fans of these. They will recommend to use the full length of time programs. What you'll also find is that if you are using these quick programs all the time, then you will need to do things like maintenance washes or use the drum clean program quite often, because with these quick washes, then the parts of the machine not getting clean. So number 6 is, does the machine have a display on it like this? And also, does it have a time delay? This is something I do talk about quite a bit, and I do recommend having a look for a machine that's got a display. It doesn't have to be as fancy as this. This is one of Bosch's top of the range models. It's got the touch control on here, but go for a machine that's got a display, at least so it shows you the time remaining in the program. Some machines will just have the very basic dials, and then it has a progress indicator. I must admit I'm not a huge fan of that, because you don't know exactly how long the program is going to take. So that's really my tip: go for a machine that's got a display on it, so it shows you the time remaining in the program. Now number 7 in the list is the energy efficiency of the machine. Now what I do recommend is to have a look for the energy label, and you'll find for a washer dryer that you've got 2 sections. So it gives you the energy efficiency for the drying section and then the washing section. Have a look at these for each machine and compare them, because what you could find is that 2 machines that you're looking at, you could find that one is a lot more energy efficient than the other. Now I did mention about things like wash times, that on some machines the wash times might be a bit longer, but again, have a look at these, because you could find that by having the longer wash times you are saving quite a bit of money by reducing the amount of water and electricity that's used. On some of these figures, you will find that since March 2021 the energy rating system did change. So you could find that some of these figures you're looking at, some of the letters I suppose, are not quite as good as they used to be, but it's not that the machines are any worse, it's because everything has been reset. Then even on this machine, for example, a C rating is actually very good. So that's right, my next tip, just have a look at the energy label to look at the energy efficiency of the machine. Now number 8 on the list would be, does the washer dryer have sensor dry? Now quite a few washer dryers do have sensor dry, and what this will do is this will actually sense when the clothes are dry. Now I know it sounds a bit basic, it sounds a bit obvious, but what this will do is when you put the clothes in, for example if you're just using the drying section, then what it will do is it will actually take a moment or so to go through, and it will actually detect the moisture content within the clothes, and then that will actually determine how long is needed in the tumble dryer. Now for a lot of people sensor dryers are pretty standard, and in the tumble dryer market these are becoming standard, and a lot of people are just going for sensor dryers. And the main advantage is that you're not drying for any time extra. So for example, if it only needs 40 minutes in the dryer, some people might be selecting an extra 10, 15, 20 minutes. And what it would do is, first of all, it could crease the clothes. Also what you'll find is that if you're drying for too long, then clearly it's going to be costing you a lot extra. The other annoying thing is it could under dry it if you select it manually. So I'd always recommend when you buy a washer dryer, make sure you go for one that's got a sensor dryer option on it as well. Now number 9 would be, has the washer dryer got any special programs? And what I mean by that are things like quick programs, which I mentioned earlier. Some machines have things like steam refresh. There's a whole range of extra programs that some washer dryers have that can make life easier. Things like the steam programs can be good, because if you're going to go through the whole process of a wash and dry, then by adding a little bit of steam, first of all it's good from a hygiene point of view, but also it can help towards the end of the wash with things like creasing of clothes. Some machines have things like Wi-Fi built in, so if you wanted to connect it to your phone, then you can start your machine while you're out, or they can give you updates as far as the things like consumption, if there's any maintenance that's needed, or if you need to get a service engineer out. So things like the Wi-Fi connection is again becoming quite a standard item on quite a few, especially the higher end machines. So that's number 9 on the list. Have a look for extra features or extra programs that are available. Now number 10, and I suppose I've cheated a little bit, I've sort of put this into 2, is the colour and the price. Colour's pretty obvious, that's why I didn't do it as an option on its own. If you want a white one, if you want a silver, black, then that's quite an obvious one. The only comment on the colour is make sure that I suppose it fits in. If you've got, say, a laundry area, or especially in a kitchen, make sure it fits in with other appliances. Some people go for, say, a silver because that's the colour that you want now. But if you're trying to match it up with other silvers, then sometimes having 2 different brands of 2 different colours doesn't look that great. That's why a lot of people just go for white. The next one is the price, and again it is quite an obvious thing to talk about, but prices do vary a huge amount. You will find, I mean, some of the washer dryers that we sell, they start around the sort of £280, £300 mark, and they go all the way up to well over £1,000. So at the end of the day, they do a job, they will wash and dry, but you'll find that by paying more, clearly you're going to be a lot more energy efficient. The wash loads are going to be bigger. Sometimes the spin speed will be quicker as well. So just have a look for something that's within your budget. And the reason I mentioned about the price is that what you can find is sometimes if you look in I suppose the most popular bracket for us tends to be between the £400 and £500 mark. If you're looking within that area, there are quite a few different brands to look at. Also, you will find that sometimes paying a little bit more, you could pay, say, £20 or £30 more, you could get a machine that is perhaps a lot more energy efficient, or the spin speed is better as well. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video on the 10 things to consider before buying a washer dryer. I hope there's things in there that were useful for you. Perhaps there might be a couple of things that you thought, oh yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. What I normally do is I just say please subscribe to my YouTube channel, just give us a quick thumbs up and leave any comments below. I'm sure there might be things that I've missed out. You'll be going, well, why didn't you talk about this? If you think there is, then just pop it in the comments. If you have got any questions on any washer dryers, then just again pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Anyway, thanks for watching.